For as long as I have been immersed in the running community and obviously the running shoe community, stability shoes have always been either a contentious topic or just generally one that people have a lot of different thoughts on that don't seem to align across the board. People don't always necessarily love the stability shoes, and in some cases for good reason. My initial experiences with stability shoes when I first started running, because I thought it was just good to get a stability shoe because it makes it sound like it's more stable. Obviously, the more stable, the better, right? But I actually got injuries from some of the stability shoes I was using early on in my running, probably because I didn't necessarily need a stability shoe at the time, and it was compensating for things that didn't exactly need compensated for. And the more I looked into stability shoes, the more it seemed like stability shoes across the running shoe market were using technologies that were a bit more corrective in an intrusive way that didn't necessarily naturally line up with the gait cycle and sort of what running was supposed to look like. But I feel like the narrative around stability shoes has shifted in recent years, specifically with some of these shoes that seem to be approaching stability in a more natural way. And I think one of the shoes that does that a bit, but still has what seems to be some traditional stability technology, but has sort of transcended what we expect out of stability shoes when it comes to the ride, the energy return, the foam, whatever it might be, is the SAUCONY TEMPUS. This was Saucony's first iteration of this shoe, and I think on their first try, they got it right. This has been an extremely fun stability trainer to run in, coming from somebody who doesn't necessarily require stability all the time, but has experienced a lot of benefits and a lot of fun runs in this shoe. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about the SAUCONY TEMPUS, why I think it is one of, if not the best stability shoes out there on the running market, why you might be interested in it, and my overall experience running in it. So I have a men's size 9.5, and this comes in at 270 grams or 9.5 ounces, which for a stability trainer, stability running shoe in general, honestly, most daily trainers in my size, where I'm usually in that 9.5 to 10 range, is not that heavy. It's actually kind of lightweight, and it feels like that on foot. This does not feel like a heavy shoe when I'm out on the run, which completely goes against what my experience with stability shoes has been in the past. They always feel sort of heavy, sort of clunky, very much so dead underfoot, but this is a pretty lightweight package for a stability shoe compared to what I've experienced before. The outsole is super grippy. I've run in this in absolute torrential downpours. I've even run in slushy-ish conditions after it has snowed in the past, and I think this is one of the best shoes traction-wise that I have used from Saucony, which is one of my favorite overall running brands to begin with. Great shoe, great outsole. I would love to see this outsole used in this general outsole pattern, which sort of resembles what we see in shoes like the Speed, for instance, but seems to be reinforced a bit more rubber under there, and overall just super reliable when it comes to traction. When it comes to that midsole, and I think this is kind of where the effectiveness of this stability package comes from, they're using that Power Run PB foam that we see again in the Saucony Endorphin Speed. This doesn't ride like an Endorphin Speed. If you're buying this shoe and your expectations are that this is just a more stable speed, I don't think you're necessarily going to get that, because there are other elements. It is built a bit differently and not necessarily in a better way than the Speed is, but still, this is a high quality shoe that uses high quality materials like that Power Run PB, but it also has that sort of standard EVA that it is wrapped in, where you can sort of see the sections of Power Run PB that sort of looks like general styrofoam, and then the normal sections of foam, which is a bit firmer. It's sort of cased in that, which helps to provide that stability element. And then if we move around to the inside of the shoe, obviously a lot of that stability package comes with the firmer foam on the inside to keep you from sort of collapsing inward. And you can see even on the outsole, the bottom, that sort of stability is reinforced with that firmer foam on the inside of the foot rather than being on the outside. So that seems to be what a lot of the stability is coming from when it comes to this shoe. That normal Power Run foam, that Power Run frame that wraps around, helping to support the foot everywhere. And then obviously an awesome upper. This is probably one of my favorite uppers from Saucony that I have used. It feels like it is almost like sort of winterized in sections. It has these what I would usually describe as like waterproof or weatherproof elements with some of the overlays everywhere, but overall very roomy package here from Saucony, which I always appreciate. I don't necessarily have a wide foot, but I like to have a bit more room in my shoes. So great overall package, from a roomy, well reinforced upper to a snappy, fun ride in the midsole, and then great traction on the outsole. So great marks across the board there when it comes to the Tempus. The midsole itself comes with an 8mm drop as well, going from 36.5 in the heel down to 28.5mm in the forefoot. So while again I wouldn't compare the ride to the Saucony Endorphin Speed, it does have a sort of similar aesthetic, a similar silhouette and shape to the Speed, which I think does it some favors when it comes to that ride. So the experience running in this shoe, again, I wouldn't say is identical to the Speed, but if you're comparing all stability shoes that use some traditional elements as well as some of the newer, more natural elements with the wider landing platform, things like that, I would say this is the closest I have ever felt to like not outwardly noticing that I am wearing a stability shoe while I am wearing and running in it, if that makes sense. This shoe I have used from everything from normal recovery days where I just don't really want to think about my foot strike all that much and think about how I'm landing, because this shoe is going to assist you a little bit when it comes to that, as most stability shoes are going to do, all the way up to steady runs. I've run in this at near marathon pace. I'm sure I could do marathon pace workouts in this shoe. I haven't really tested it on any sort of speed work days because I have carbon plated racers. I have other fun workout shoes that I think will just consistently sort of hit the mark as opposed to hopping in a stability shoe. But I think when it comes to a fun daily trainer, this shoe checks most of those boxes. You can pick up the pace in it because it has that solid premium power run PB foam underfoot. It comes in a lightweight package. It has great traction. It's very sure-footed. You don't have to worry about too many things. This is one of those shoes that I have never experienced when it comes to stability shoes that just sort of disappears on foot. And I never thought I would say that about a stability shoe, but this shoe seems to be able to do just that. And again, besides just being a great all-around daily trainer, but also like a great up-tempo daily trainer, this is a solid shoe, well suited for like wet running or winter running. Like I said, it seems like this well reinforced upper has some elements that keeps your foot nice and protected from the elements when it comes to running in the winter or running in wetter conditions. So I would say if you happen to be running in conditions that sound like that and you're looking for a solid stability shoe that can check a ton of different boxes in your running routine, whether you're talking about some light speed work, you're doing some strides at the end of your normal easy runs, you're just going for normal easy runs, you're doing a medium long run at a nice steady pace, this shoe has been able to tackle all of those tasks. Beyond that, I'm not sure I have much else to say about the Tempus. I do believe Saucony is coming out with a second version of this shoe, which I'll be eager to see if they change things up at all or if they just stick with what has been a very successful package in my eyes when it comes to one of not just their best shoes overall, but obviously one of the best stability shoes they have come out with in recent years. So if you've run in the Tempus, let me know what your experience doing so has been down in the comments below. Other than that, we'll catch up soon. Peace.